Good morning, everybody. We've got a chance to do a really fun project for the Cango Wildlife Ranch in Outsoden. It's just north of George in the Garden Route area. They called us because the big blue gums on their property have been splintering and dropping extremely large limbs and damaging the enclosures, damaging the pedestrian bridges. And of course, with as many people that go through there, it's a danger to people and vehicles as well. These big eucalyptus trees have been there for for quite some time, and now are beginning to show their age. And when they get a lot of water, and then they get a large heat, hot area, they'll get heat expansion, and they start to shed limbs, which isn't a big deal unless they're around buildings like these are. So the first one that we were called in to do, after doing an assessment, we decided this one in the parking area was one of the most dangerous. So this big one on the left here, we shot lines into and began to work. The action's gonna pick up here immediately. I had already shot lines and climbed into it. There were 3 of us working on this tree at once. But as you can see, as I'm cutting, there's some big snags and some deadfall, some widowmakers hiding in this tree. And as the limbs are cut away, the ropes knock them around and big pieces fall down. That one actually grazed my helmet on the way through. So just a reminder to keep an eye on your ropes. But this project went quite nicely. It was really nice drop area, big parking lot to the left there. We just had to make it small enough that the stem would fit inside the parking lot footprint. So we just climbed it and shed the limbs off one by one. A little bit of rigging was involved to get the pieces off the back, but most of it came off the front quite nicely. I'll let you guys listen into the normal noises for now. I'll come back in just a minute. If you haven't cut a lot of blue gums before, something to note about them, if it's going to be some of your first times, don't assume that the hinges are going to work. The hinges are very, very brittle. They don't hold the wood like a pine or maybe an elm, hackberry, something with a really long grain in it. The hinges just kind of snap. So if your face cut's not accurate and the weight of the limb or the weight of the top or the weight of the tree isn't leaning the right way, you have to set up either bull lines, pulling lines, protection of some sort, or the piece just isn't going to go the way you want. Luckily, most of these pieces were faced the right way, but I definitely had some close calls while I was working the top of that tree. The rest of the video was just me knocking the tops out, so I figured I'd just skip ahead to us felling it. Nice to have a big bar on these trees so that you can actually get all the way through, when you're making your face cut. We chose a conventional because we feel that we're more accurate with that cut. Some guys are better with a Humboldt. It really doesn't matter. But we put some big wedges into it. We put a big rope on a rope puller, ran it back to a tree on the other side of the parking lot. Kind of not the best terrain to cut it on the backside, so you had to kind of switch back and forth to get through because our bar just barely wouldn't go through. Once I felt like we had it, I skirted around the footprint of the tree, got out by the rope pullers. We had 2 ropes on the tree, so we had one on the rope puller, and then if it ran out, we could switch over to the manual puller. And by then, of course, we would have command of the tree. I'll let it fall so you can hear. Perfect. Nice big tree, fell exactly where we wanted it. Very good cutting by the branch manager.
All right, clear rope.
We went in, pulled out the ropes. One was pinned. It was a very fun job because we didn't have to clean up. We got to cut everything down into blocks that were small enough that a crane truck or a TLB with a chain could come by and lift the pieces. And we had to just roll them out of the way here so that we could get to the next cut. But we blocked it up and left it for the TLB. And the next day, we did an even more fun tree. Stay tuned, and I'll show you the next one. Cheers, guys. Enjoy your day.